All right, in our next video, I'm going to talk about the meaning of B. And B is the regression parameter that we calculated before. And remember that B is rise over run. And so let's, I'm going to comment this out lest I keep that in and people think that it actually runs. So what does rise over run mean? It is how much increase can we expect in y for every incremental increase in x. So that means that the b is always expressed in y units over x units. Now why is that? Let's just take a look at what the equation looks like. Y equals bx, or let me just do this, bx plus a. Okay, now remember that you're taking x units. So imagine that x is, let's see, we want to figure out how much people weigh given how tall they are. And we're going to measure them in inches. It is measured in inches. And y is measured in pounds. What the hell? So when we calculate B in our line of best fit, A is measured in pounds because X is 0 inches, and so therefore A is the y-intercept, and it must be measured in pounds. And therefore B is measured in, remember that it has to offset X, and X is measured in inches, so it has to be pounds over inches. So remember that if B is rise over run, whoops, sorry about that, the rise is in power, the rise is in pounds over the run is in inches. So therefore, when we say y pounds is equal to B, which is pounds over inches, times inches. Remember that B is measured in, or excuse me, B is pounds over inches, and X is measured in inches. And then we have to add pounds. So now we have pounds equal the inches, pounds over inches times inches. Inches cross out. So now we have pounds plus pounds, right? So how do we get that? Well, it's all in this part right here. This is the X. X is in inches. And B, therefore, must be in pounds, our Y variable, divided by our X variable. So therefore, rise is the Y variable over the X variable, which is the run. And if we go back to our line of best fit in our figure, our B is going to be how many units of rise in Y do we expect for each unit increase in our run. And as we found in our formula, if we do summary LM1, you'll see that the slope is 0.7. So what that means is for every increase in 1 unit of X, we get a 0.7 increase in our units of Y. So therefore, our B is a relationship in our line of best fit that relates the metric of X and Y together. And it always produces, when we multiply it by our predictor, it always produces the metric of our dependent variable, and it must. So remember that B is the rise over the run, so therefore B is equal to Y units over X units. And B is just that, is a weight. It's a weight that converts X units into Y units so that we can get our expected value of Y. And if you think in terms of the meaning of B, We can also convert that into the meaning of A, where A is the offset that we need to take into consideration so that the conversion of x units into y units to get predicted values of y will also shift the line up so that it is in line with all the observed values. So A is really just a correction, but B is that weight and that conversion so that we get an accurate conversion of x units into y units.